Hi guys, Ali Taylor down here at Heron's Reach, and today I'm testing the new TaylorMade P7MC irons. So TaylorMade have just launched 3 new sets of irons. The P7MB, which is the blade, the P7MC, which is this one I'm about to look at, but also the P770. Now, maybe all slightly aimed at marginally different players, but in some respects I kind of feel a little bit sorry for the MC, because I think the MB people look at and say, wow, it's a really amazing looking set of irons. They look at the 770 and they go, oh, it looks great and it's got bags of tech in there and loads of performance. And this one's kind of somewhere in the middle of kind of going to look great, isn't ram-packed full of technologies, but just going to give you that little bit more help than the MB would. So I'm going to have a close-up look at the head. I'm going to talk through kind of the MC head and the design and the idea. And I'm then going to hit some Titleist Pro V1Xs on TrackMan. I've got 5-iron, 7-iron and 9-iron. So the loft on the 5-iron's 26. We're looking at 34 for the 7-iron, so getting into those more traditional lofts. I'm looking at 42.5 for the 9-iron. So we're going to see, first of all, kind of what do these clubs look and feel like? Do they perform how we'd expect them to? And then I'm going to go out into the golf course. I'm just going to hit a few little shots around the green, because when you're getting into forged product like this, you know, it's not about hitting it as far as you can. It's also about that feel and those little shots around the green. Do we get the kind of feedback from these clubs that we're looking to help these be a more all-round golf club? So when you look at the P7MC from behind, a very, very good looking cavity back club. Now for me, it looks very, very similar from the back to the old RACTP irons. Now clearly not exactly the same, but there's definitely a similarity there. And I just kind of feel, as nice as it looks, me personally, I'd probably like to have seen the TaylorMade logo in black. But that's me being picky, just from a visual perspective. So like the MB head, it's a completely forged head. So there's no speed slots or anything in this. This is more of a ball striker's golf club, but it's still a very, very refined looking golf club, and just that cavity going to give you that little bit more forgiveness. Right, so as ever with one of these reviews, I'm going to start with the 7-iron, and I don't think, you know, I've already done the P770 and the P7MB. I don't think there's anything going to be mind-blowing performance out of these, and I'm expecting probably the numbers on the good strike to be very similar to the MB. Might just chuck a couple in there where I try and miss-hit it, and let's just see what the drop-off actually is with those. But let's start off 7-iron, Titleist Pro V1X on TrackMan. So maybe just a little bit left, a little bit drawing. That's tending to be my shot just at the moment. So 157 with 5,000 spin, so not a million miles off what I expected. Didn't feel I've necessarily got that one 100%. That felt a better strike. Almost the same shot directionally. So 167 with 5.5 spin. So again, that was good, and like I said, very much kind of what I would expect with a lofted 7-iron of 34 degrees. I'll just turn that over a little bit more. So I might see an extra couple of yards. No, 163. Let's go one more kind of normal one. So they may be fractionally right. Get that one turning more back to target. Maybe still going to miss fractionally left. So we'll look at the averages there. 164 carry, 5.2 spin, so maybe marginally lower than I would like to see with the spin, but all in all, very much as I would expect it to perform. Right, so let's just see. Obviously, we don't hit everything perfectly out the middle every time. And for the guy who is that better ball striker, you know, maybe the MB will be the one you'll go for. But let's just try and slightly miss-hit these. All right, so that definitely felt more towards the toe. So we can see there, 18 millimeters out the toe, very much the same shape. And 155, so I actually spun a little bit more. I lost a bit of ball speed. So we can see there, even with that little miss hit, didn't really lose a huge amount, which is where I do think the MC is going to be kind of a little bit missed in marketing, because everybody either loves the look of the MB or loves the kind of look of 770 over 790, but still gets that power performance. So let's just see, let's go one more, maybe try and get this one a little bit lower off the face. Yeah, so that one's just a little bit thin. And I can see 163 though, so even though there's no speed slot in there, not really seeing any drop off, which kind of then makes you think, does the speed slot make that big a difference? But certainly 7-iron, that gave me very much what I expected. So that moves me into 9-iron, and again, you know, I don't think they look quite as compact and thin as the MB, but they still look, compared to a lot of the stuff out there, still really, really look like a much more compact, refined golf club. So not all about bombing it. So we saw kind of round about that 165 with 7-iron. Let's hit 9-iron, looking for maybe 137 to 140. Okay, maybe didn't feel I got all of that one. It's a decent direction of the shot. 135. So definitely for me, you know, that little bit of forgiveness that the MC gives us. That felt a better strike than the first one. So I'd hope that'd get out more around that 140. Ooh. Now, it's a little bit surprising that came up short. Felt a good strike, good spin numbers. Let's go a couple more with 9-iron. Just left that one out to the right. And I think they're definitely the ones that, maybe those last couple with the MB, I might see a little bit more drop off, but with the MC, certainly a little bit of forgiveness in there. Felt good. Felt like how I would want to hit that shot, just turning over. And around that 137. So again, let's look at the averages, even with those that I didn't, just slightly missed, and let's see how close that is to what I'm looking for. So 132 carry, 8,000 spin. I mean, just really doing what I would expect. The couple of miss hits were a few yards back, but I would absolutely take that. And every time there, I'm hitting the green and giving myself a look for birdie. Okay, so I made the comment there that certainly with the 9-iron, even those little miss hits are kind of hitting the green. Now, I would like to think at my standard, you know, the 9-irons and things, I shouldn't be missing many greens. It's when you're getting into these 5-irons, you know, these longer irons, that definitely that little bit of forgiveness, you know, and definitely for me, depending on how this performs, I think if I was going to split my set, if I went for these, I might go longer irons in MC and MB in the short stuff. But again, I think 5-iron looks really, really nice behind the golf ball. Solid, if not absolutely ripped. But again, nice direction. 193. Now that definitely didn't feel that I got all of that. I'd say maybe 8 out of 10 strike, but really good distance. Accuracy, like I always say, is more down to me than the club. I just left the club face a little open. Now again, that wasn't my best one. 180, so I don't dislike that for kind of drop off on a miss hit. Right, let's go one more normal one. Then I want to see what it's like with trajectory control, because that's what really appeals to me with the MBs. Felt good. Just not drawing back. But again, 190. So definitely for me, those numbers, right where I'd like 5-iron to be. Now, like I said, just before I hit that shot, one of the things that appeals to me about going for maybe more of a ball striker's club, if you want, is I like that ability to kind of control my trajectories. So as a general rule, I'm kind of round about that 100-foot peak height. So I want that ability, if I can, to maybe just hit that ball a little flatter. So that trajectory down. So lost a little bit of carry there, but that was maybe a touch lower than I was trying. So again, let's just go that little kind of knockdown shot, almost a bit of a stinger. Yeah, that's probably more the flight I was looking for. And I'd still be looking for that to pitch around about that 185, yeah, 186, rolling out nicely. Now, again, with the MB, I mentioned that ability to maybe shape the ball as well. Now, I just think some of the equipment out there makes it tougher to shape. That might be bad news for some of you. But the one I find hard was that high cut. So let's try high cut 5-iron. Well, there's the shape. Didn't get it at all though, very toey. Yeah, so I think as forgiving as MC is, if you get one like that, you know, you're not going to get that maximum distance, but certainly found it easy to get that shape that I want. So there's that big high cut. What are we like distance-wise? Okay, maybe a couple of yards back of where I would like, but definitely for me, it does what TaylorMade is saying. You know, it looks good, it feels soft with it being forged. Is it more forgiving than MB? Yeah, I think, you know, if you miss hitting the golf ball a little bit, you don't want to be looking at a pure blade, but something like that, it's just got that little bit more forgiveness. So I think it looks good, it feels good, and it performs distance-wise how I would like on full shots. Let's pop out to the golf course. Let's just hit some little shots around the green as I did with the other irons. And again, let's see how the kind of 7-iron and 9-iron performs for the short game. So P7MCs. Now for me, look incredibly close to the MBs behind the golf ball. And definitely that in-between set of, you know, the looks and feel of the MB, but a little bit more forgiveness moving towards the P770. So again, I'm just off the 18th green. I've kind of hit similar shots with the kind of MBs and the 770s, but let's just give you some feedback on looks and feel. So definitely for me, it doesn't look quite as compact behind the golf ball, and I made that comment on the full shots, but I'm expecting the feel very much as we did with the full shots to be like the MBs. That's lovely, do like that. And that's my only little dilemma when I look at the sets at the moment. Do I kind of split the set at all? Don't necessarily think in the short stuff have an issue with going MBs, but it'd be interesting, you guys comment below, if I go for a set of new irons, what do you think my setup should be? It'll be 3-iron down, but let me think, should I split the set? Should it even be kind of 3-iron in the 770, maybe 4, 5, 6 in MC, and then 7 down in MBs? But you comment below and let me know what you think the setup should be if I were to go for some TaylorMade irons. But yeah, I mean, for me, the feel is still really, really soft around the greens with the MCs. And I would have no issue, nice bounce, no issue playing these kind of shots around the green. This 9-iron looks good, feels good. And I do like the more compact head. Just again, like I said it on the MB video, just feel I can get the leading edge really tight to the ground. So let's move other side of the green, just hit some longer chip and runs with the 7-iron and kind of get that overall view on the P7MC. So again, this is one of those shots where you kind of just off the green, little bit of slightly longer grass to get it over, so I don't need to get the ball in the air for long, which is where a kind of 6-iron or 7-iron would be perfect. Again, 7-iron I think looks good behind the ball, definitely noticeably a little bit bigger than the MB, but not a huge negative from that perspective. And again, the feel's just incredibly similar, if not exactly the same to the MB, which is what I really, really like with these irons. Just needs to break a little bit from over there. But I've made the comment particularly, maybe not so much with the 770s, because I just felt they were a little bit firmer, but certainly the MBs and the MCs, I really, really like that kind of soft feel around the greens. And I just think for me, there's maybe that little bit more incentive for me to practice when I like the feel of something. Oh, now this might go in. Break. Oh, close. Might have to stand out here for a while to chip one in though. Now, if that just goes a little bit, keep breaking, keep breaking. But again, just really, really nice feel. Right then, overall, the P7MCs, do you know what, these are really, really great iron. They look really good, feel incredibly soft, very, very strong performance. And my only, not worry, is I kind of think maybe the better ball striker will go MB. The guy who maybe wants that bit of forgiveness might go P770. So I just wonder whether the MC will maybe get lost a little bit. I don't know, it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm not doing any fittings just yet with these, so it'll be interesting once we start fitting with the product to see how popular this kind of is as an iron. I think it's a great iron, and I actually think it'll tick a lot of boxes, certainly on performance more than MB, because of that little bit of forgiveness that the cavity is going to give it. I'm just concerned that with the product and with there being the range of product there is, that maybe that MC might get missed. So I think the key thing is when you go and get fitted and you're looking at P770s and the MB, don't forget to try the MC, because might not be the instant one you think about, but just might be the one that ends up in your golf bag. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you've enjoyed today's content and you don't currently subscribe, click the button below, ring the notification bell, and then you'll find out whenever I drop new product. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.